My Liberation Notes doesn't try to impress you. It doesn't hook you with a shocking premise or dramatic urgency. Instead, it does something far more dangerous. It mirrors a life that feels uncomfortably close to your own. From the very beginning, this drama moves at a pace that feels deliberate, almost stubborn, as if it's daring you to stay. And once you do, it becomes clear that this isn't a story meant to entertain you loudly, but one that slowly pulls you into its emotional gravity until ignoring it is no longer an option. At the center of the story are characters who aren't chasing success, romance, or redemption in the usual K-drama sense. They are exhausted, emotionally restrained, and deeply aware of how stuck they feel. Their lives are shaped by routines, long commutes, unspoken frustrations, and a constant sense that something is missing, even if they can't fully name it. The drama doesn't rush to define their pain or simplify it. It lets their dissatisfaction exist quietly, showing how emotional emptiness can be just as heavy as visible tragedy. What makes My Liberation Notes so absorbing is how it treats internal conflict as the main driving force. The characters aren't fighting villains or external obstacles. They're negotiating with themselves every single day. They question their worth, their desires, and whether change is even possible without completely dismantling the lives they've built. Decisions aren't made in moments of clarity, but through hesitation, avoidance, and small, imperfect attempts at honesty. This creates a tension that doesn't explode, but simmers constantly beneath the surface. The relationships in this drama are defined less by action and more by emotional distance. Conversations are restrained, often incomplete, and filled with what's left unsaid. When characters connect, it feels fragile, almost risky, because emotional exposure is treated as something earned, not automatic. The story understands that for people who feel trapped by their own lives, intimacy isn't comforting at first, it's terrifying. Every step toward connection feels like it could collapse at any moment, and that uncertainty keeps the narrative gripping without ever needing traditional drama beats. What truly sets My Liberation Notes apart from other Korean dramas is its refusal to offer easy solutions. There are no grand speeches that fix everything, no sudden transformations that make life lighter overnight. Growth happens slowly, inconsistently, and sometimes painfully. The drama respects the idea that liberation isn't about escaping your life, but about learning how to exist within it without losing yourself. That honesty is what makes the story resonate so deeply, especially for viewers who have felt emotionally stuck for years without a clear reason why. Even when the story moves forward, it does so cautiously. Progress is measured in subtle shifts rather than dramatic change. A thought expressed out loud for the first time. A boundary quietly set. A desire finally acknowledged without apology. These moments may seem small, but within the context of these characters' lives, they feel monumental. The drama understands that for people who have been emotionally restrained for too long, even self-awareness can feel revolutionary. By the time My Liberation Notes reaches its conclusion, it doesn't try to convince you that everything is resolved. Instead, it leaves you with something far more lasting: recognition. You recognize the weight of emotional inertia, the fear of wanting more, and the quiet courage it takes to admit dissatisfaction. This isn't a drama that tells you how to live better. It simply shows what it looks like to confront the truth of your own unhappiness, and that confrontation alone is powerful. That's why My Liberation Notes feels too real to ignore. It doesn't ask for your sympathy or your tears. It asks for your attention, your patience, and your honesty. And once you give it those things, it becomes impossible to forget. Not because of what happens, but because of how deeply it reflects the parts of life we rarely see portrayed with this level of restraint and respect.